What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw Forward TV. Shout out to the subscriber that sent this to me, okay? Because over the years, we can forget what some of these guys have said in the mainstream sports media over the years, right? Now, we all know that they are shameless, ESPN, aka BSPN. They're shameless when it comes to promoting the LeBron needs help narrative, and that he's never held accountable, and that whenever he's in a situation where there's any adversity, it's never he got to step up, even if he's putting up great numbers. They say he makes everybody around him better, then make everybody around you better. Okay? People forget. In 1995, in that semifinal series, when the Bulls lost to the Magic, Jordan averaged 31 points a game in that series. Jordan shot 48% from the floor in that series. There were times in some of those games, Michael Jordan was spectacular. Contrast that to him averaging less than 27 points per game and 41% shooting during the abbreviated regular season. So he actually played well. He did turn the ball over quite a bit, and he did fade down the stretch, but statistically, he quote-unquote did his job. But we know that he really didn't. It came back better than ever. This guy, the media always make excuses for him. But they've been doing it longer than you might realize. Let me play some audio. This is old school First Take. This is 2012. After Game 5, when the Celtics went up 3-2 over the Miami Heat in the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals. Now, ultimately, Miami will win Game 6 and 7 and eke out the series. But right here, it looked like Miami might fail for the second consecutive year. Or more importantly, in respects to this narrative, LeBron might lose for the second year in a row. Listen to what Stephen A. Smith suggested here. This is disgusting, especially when you look in hindsight.
If the Miami Heat are done and lose this series, is it time to break up the band? Skip Bayless, Stephen A. Smith. If they don't get it done this year, if they get closed out in Game 6 or Game 7 of this series, it's time to break them up. Detonate. Okay. It's detonate. The only person, from what my sources tell me, that is safe is LeBron James. And I'm here to tell you right now, that's exactly the way it should be. He's the one untouchable. Yes, your man Batman is somebody that I would trade. But I wouldn't trade him just anywhere. Okay? And I'm not, first of all, let me preface my comment, because people in the stratosphere, Twitter sphere, and all of this other stuff, the people out there that lie and are very, very popular for misquoting me. Let me make myself very clear. This is not insider information. Nobody told me that this is being talked about or anything like that. I'm simply proposing what I believe Pat Riley should do. Fair enough. LeBron James is good for 30 and 8 a night in these playoffs. You look at his numbers over the last several games. You see 34, 32, 30, 29, 28, 30, 32. I mean, just a model of consistency in terms of numbers, stat sheets. Dwayne Wade doesn't seem to be himself. I don't believe Dwayne Wade is finished. I still believe he's a superstar in this league. Thank you. But I believe he needs to be remotivated. And I think relocation would do it. Wow. Skip Bayless, I believe that Pat Riley should pick up the phone and he should call Mr. Jim Buss. He should place a call to the man running the Los Angeles Lakers, and he should sit there and say that I'm willing to offer you Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade for Kobe and a power Gasol. Obviously, the numbers, you got to throw other players in there for the numbers to work. But that's the crux of it. And I'm not blaming Chris Bosh by any stretch of the imagination. I know the kid can play. That's not what I'm saying. I think that you're going to have some executives that are going to be a bit apprehensive because you look at a guy like Dwayne Wade, and he seems right now to be an old 30. He's not an old 30.
Thank you.
He just went away from what got him to this point because here's my indictment against Dwayne Wade. The classiest dude that I've ever covered in professional sports. Truly is.
Dwayne Wade.
That's right. Got comfortable. LeBron arrives in South Beach, and his whole thing was, we got this.
I don't want to play. I don't want to say any more of that. Now remember, the year before, it was LeBron Ramon James. It was LeBron Ramon James that had the worst performance ever for a supposed superstar in the NBA Finals. And he was being criticized heavily in the media. That's the last time I ever heard him really get smoked in the media like that. Starting in 2012, there was a change. There was a change. Now, we all know in Game 6, LeBron had a monster performance, 45 points, I think it was. 45 points, 15 rebounds. He was balling, and I don't take nothing away from him. Game 7, 31 points, 12 rebounds. Can't remember how many assists. I could look at it, but he had a phenomenal game. Okay, D-Wade, he didn't have the best series. He didn't. Chris Bosh, very uneven, right? But let's not forget, LeBron came to Miami to try to win a championship. He went to Wade's team. This was Wade County, okay? This was his team. He won a championship that he put on his back when he was Flash in 2006. Now, Chris Bosh hadn't established himself yet as an all-time great player, but Wade has. This guy is saying that Pat Riley should trade away Dwayne Wade to the Lakers for Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol, Chris Bosh and Wade for Kobe and Pat. First of all, Kobe Bryant would have never had that. He would have never agreed to anything like that. Never. You think he would come? You think he would agree to a trade to join LeBron and be his sidekick? Are you out your goddamn mind? That would have never happened. But, there's something interesting here. I'm assuming this was possibly late May 2012, right? Conference Finals. So this would have been right when Stephen A. Smith became a permanent fixture on First Take. Because at first he was a guest contributor. That's when he became a permanent fixture. This is before Molly Kern was there. This is before actually Carrie Champion. She came on the show later that fall. This is when it was G Wiz, Jay Crawford, right? I don't know whether Stephen A. was told to say certain things to take the heat off LeBron. Because, this is when Stephen A. was still coming into his own. He wasn't the quote-unquote boss of ESPN at that time. This was still the Stuart Scott era. You know what I'm saying? Stuart Scott was the HNIC at ESPN back then. So I don't know whether he was told, don't put anything on LeBron at this point. And he played great, so you can't really blame him per se. But you got to say, if they had lost since LeBron left Cleveland to join forces with Wade, you still kind of got to put it on him, right? You still got to put it on him. I mean, look, when Michael Jordan came out of retirement in 95, rejoined the Bulls, and they lost in the conference finals, Jordan's numbers look good. 31 points, 48% shooting, compared to the 41% shooting and 27 points per game in the regular season. But we still blamed him because he was the best player on the team. He had responsibility because he was the best player. So it's just interesting to me how not only are they putting all the blame on the role players, which is the beginning of what we will always see with any LeBron team. He's always absolved of guilt. It's always somebody else's fault. And not only that, this guy who's already on a super team, Stephen A. Smith is proposing he join forces with Kobe Bryant. A guy who, at that point in time, was still arguably the best player in the league. And Pau Gasol, who'd have been, at that point, an upgrade from Chris Bosh. Are you serious? That is totally disrespectful to Dwayne Wade. But this goes to show you how already, while Clutch Sports wasn't anything what it is today, oh, matter of fact, was Clutch Sports even in existence then? Yeah, they were. But they weren't what they are today, obviously. But already, LeBron's influence with ESPN and sports media was beginning. Because the year before, he was getting critiqued. 2010, he was getting the business. But you hear about how behind the scenes he was calling, on-air personalities, people behind the scenes, complaining about criticism. And then all of a sudden, you just stop. You just stop around 2012. And when he won that, title 2016, which has an asterisk on it, but whatever. Only time in the final series you saw suspension. But once he won that it just took off to another level. But I wanted to share that with you guys. Just wanted to share that this thing has been going on for quite some time. Now, I know some people will say, well, they were doing it back in 2008. Yeah, they were. They were doing it even when he was with Cleveland the first time, but not to that extent. I mean, think about this, love. Think about this again. He joins Wade's team because he couldn't win in Cleveland. He quit on his team. Joins a super team with Wade and Chris Bosh. So now, if they had got eliminated by what I might add was a past their prime Celtic team who were not even supposed to be competitive in this series, if he failed again, blow up the super team and create an even bigger super team. Unbelievable. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.